Does this mean we're actually going to get a Switch Pro? Let's talk about it. What's up everybody, my name's Andy and welcome to 128KB, you know, the best place on the internet. If you're new to the channel, go down there, smash that like and subscribe and share this video around because it really helps us out. So there's been a big sort of, I want to say rumor, but it kind of is, it kind of isn't. There's been a lot of stuff going around on social media recently because NVIDIA, the graphics card company, has basically been hacked. There's like a big leak of information recently, which is, you know, not very good. But in that big leak of information, some people spotted that there may be some information regarding Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch. So in that information, they pretty much said that NVIDIA could be working on like a chip, an APU that could be for a new generation of Switch or the Switch successor that could feature NVIDIA's ray tracing and DLSS technology. So if that's going all over your head, basically, and this is very basic, feel free to comment below and be like, Andy, you're wrong, and then tell everyone exactly what it is. I'm fine with that. Do it if you know more about it. But this is like trying to bring it to the masses, just in case people want to know, all right? Chill out, don't shoot the messenger here, all right? But yeah, NVIDIA make the APU, the chip inside the Nintendo Switch that processes the graphics, where it's basically like an onboard CPU and GPU in one chip, and that does everything, right? We know it's outdated, it's an old chip, blah, blah, blah. We know that, okay? And we were all hoping that a Switch Pro would come out. The Switch OLED came out instead, which is amazing, love it. But now, NVIDIA, with this leak, it looks like they're working on another chip, it seems, that's going to be able to use their ray tracing technology. So ray tracing from NVIDIA is basically like a way of rendering realistic lighting like this. So instead of just being like lit like unnaturally, ray tracing, basically it's as if it was real life lighting. So you get way better shadows and way better realistic reflections as well. And it really looks stunning. If you look at PC gaming right now with the height of ray tracing, and even like the PlayStation and the Xbox, the new ones that like incorporate it, like wow, some of these games look amazing. And of course that comes at some serious GPU power. So even PCs struggle to use ray tracing at like the highest settings. So you're like, oh, really? Is a Switch gonna do ray tracing? But that's where the next one comes in, DLSS. Now that, is it digital learning super sampling? Deep learning super sampling. I was close, all right, I was close. So what DLSS aims to do is it aims to increase frame rate by basically rendering it at a lower resolution so that you get a faster frame rate. But then what it does is it upscales it to be almost not noticeable in comparison to the original native resolution. So let's say it was a 4K game. I'm just taking 4K. Obviously the Switch isn't doing that, but let's say it was 4K. Well, it would actually render it, let's say at 1440p, and then upscale that 1440p image to look as good as 4K, but with the frame rate of 1440p. So it looks great and it performs really well. And that's why they pair it with ray tracing, because you get all this lovely shadows and reflections and lighting at a lower resolution, upscaled, so you keep all the frame rate. Like, it's just really good modern technology. And the Switch, if it can handle that, if NVIDIA are working on a chip with DLSS and ray tracing, I wouldn't even really care about ray tracing for Nintendo games. Honestly, I'm not fussed. DLSS, on the other hand, yes. Because if they can put out even 1440p Switch games on the TV, that would be a massive step up. I mean, that's not likely because 1440p is more like a monitor thing rather than like a TV thing. But I mean, like in the back end, if they can get games to look like 1440p or even 4K, but actually it's being DLSS, with higher frame rates, that would be incredible. Like that would be absolutely amazing. So the thing is we already know the Switch is halfway through its life cycle, right? We're like 5 years in and Nintendo are saying there's still 5 years left, right? But we also know that they've said they are always actively looking at incorporating new ideas and new technologies moving forward. So they've pretty much said that they are working on the Switch 2 or some sort of next generation Switch in the back end. So is this leak referring to the successor, which may still be 5 years out? I'm realistically thinking we're going to hear about it in maybe like 2024. I reckon. So we've got another couple years yet until I think we even hear about the successor. But realistically, Nintendo is saying we've got 5 years left. So is this really early technology and NVIDIA are just testing the waters with Nintendo to say what could be done, what we can do, let's work on something, and then somebody's seen that in the leak? Or is it like confirmed Switch Pro? Because yes, this could be the Switch 2, which I think it probably is. But if we've still got 5 years left and they don't even announce the Switch 2 until like 4 years later, then maybe like next year, we could potentially get like the Switch Pro with DLSS in it. How realistic is that? I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I don't know if they'll be able to take games that are currently on the Switch and upscale those 1080p docked versions to like 4K or 1440p. I don't think it works like that. So I'm not too sure. If you do know, let me know down in the comments. What it could mean if it was a Switch Pro is that everything could be like 1080p at 60. So all the games that are like 30 FPS, that maybe could be pushed up to 60 FPS because like I said, it increases the frame rate, right? So that's quite a good thing, but I'm still thinking it's going to be a successor. But for me, I'm seeing this as the successor for the Switch and not a Switch Pro. I would love it if it was a Switch Pro. I would buy one if it was a Switch Pro OLED, whatever they want to call it, the new OLED Pro. Like, you know what Nintendo's like with naming systems. But if it was a Switch Pro, yeah, I'd buy one. Of course I would. Yeah, like I'm all for that. I was well up for a Switch Pro, but then when I saw the OLED, I was still happy. Like, it's still an amazing console. But realistically, I'm thinking this is actually going to be the successor, and we're probably not going to hear about this. I think this was all to do with internal testings and stuff like that, and someone's just happened to see the leaks, pick that bit out, and then gone, oh, look at this, and everyone on the internet has gone mental. So what do you think? Do you know about ray tracing and DLSS? Are you like full on keen for this? Are you excited that we could get higher frame rates and resolutions from the Switch? Like, amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. I'm not gonna be rambling on all day. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this, what you're excited for. Do you think it's gonna be the Switch Pro? Do you think it's gonna be the Switch 2? Just let me know what you're thinking. I'd love to know. Check out our website, 128kb.co.uk. I'm Andy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.